Hello, Problematic Boy here, and here is our gonna be our second YouTube video. This is my third take, so third time's the charm on this take here. We're gonna be talking about league starters, what I'm gonna be league starting, what I considered for league start, what I think are, well, what of those I think are good league starters. Um, yeah, let's get into it, and then maybe some little bonus ideas or some bait ideas that I might have. So here's our fire trap story. I basically heard some whisperings of fire trap, and I specifically wanted to play it on Sabo. So I started a fire trap run on stream, and then literally I woke up the next morning with my character and it was like an Act 8 or Act 9, and everybody was playing fire trap Sabo. And I think some other person was streaming. I think it was John or something, and they were streaming Fire Trap Elementalist, like POB Fire Trap Elementalist. So here's our Fire Trap Sabo. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to say I invented it, but I am kind of saying that before I saw everyone playing it, I was kind of on the ball a little bit. So that's a little joke, but Fire Trap Sabo is good, and I will say one thing about it. We'll take a look at our tree real quick, and if people want my POB, I caution against it because this is sort of like a meme. Like, this is like the no damage fire trap Sabo. Like, we have no damage, so we go down to Scion. We take easier cap spell suppression because we take this node and Mage Bane. We get all this stuff which every build takes, but we come down here and get more life. We're taking one with evil just for chaos res, We're even taking we're even taking tolerance. We have stun avoidance at 100% because we have tolerance and arcane sanctuary. So it's a completely stun avoid build, which means you don't have to run fucking Brian King. You can run Soul Lunaris and Gruthcool, which is what I'm doing. And you avoid a lot of bleeds and yeah, impales and poisons because we have 40% there and 30% here. So we have 70% avoid bleed, 70% avoid poison, and a decent amount of avoid impale. I think it's only 30%. But you take the mastery for avoid stun, and we have reduced curse effect here. Overall, I would say don't build it this way. Build it, you essentially want to build this by cutting this here. You cut all this here. You maybe don't take this shield node, though I like it. You maybe cut this. You probably do cut this, but I like it. You keep all this stuff. You keep the ghost strats. You can cut chaos res because you can get it on gear eventually. And you probably cut this too. At least these left nodes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points at least. I like taking entropy. And then you come up through Witch like this. So what you would do is you would come up and go, ooh, I get life here. You take these two area nodes. Don't come down for that area. You don't really need it. And then come up here, get life. Come up here, and then grab all this fire stuff. You want to go this way with Ignite. And then what you would do is you would drop Flamethrower Trap, which I'm using, which is also a meme, and you'd run Combustion in your main link. I would still run Controlled Destruction with Combustion, and yeah, probably exactly what I have here. You can life tap until you get Elrion Reigns, or you can just like 6-link on your life tap. I don't think it matters that much. I mean, obviously it's more damage if you go Inspiration and you have Elrion Reigns. You could prioritize getting that. I haven't gotten Elrion Craft to drop yet on this run, so we're just going with a pretty simple setup here of just life tapping our stuff, and we don't have to life tap that. You life tap a Malevolence or with Divine Blessing. That's very good. The build is very tanky. You can run Grace and Determination and Skitter Bots. And you have Ghost Routes. You get the Gravicious Craft. Even better. Other than that, here, my gear, I'll just hover over it briefly. I mean, the Scepter's okay. It's just like a +1 Scepter that has crafted Fire Dot multi on it. This is really easy to get. You have this, you have this. And what have I done with this character? I've done up to a T12 map. I actually don't have like red maps dropping for me for some reason. But the damage was nice. I did do Black Star in Infinite Hunger. Infinite Hunger sucked, kind of. He goes under the ground a lot, so DPS uptime is terrible on like every build, and I wouldn't call it a slow burn. We got sucked under just 2 times, and then we killed him. Black Star was so much better. I tanked everything. You know, it was very smooth. It probably took like 2 minutes or something. Anyways, the damage is good enough to do like the tutorial versions at least on this gear. And if you did the tree correctly, like getting the fire damage here and then coming this way, skipping EO, you can take Acrimony if you want for more damage, and then you can come over here and take this life. And probably take Explosive Impact. More so for the Fire Mastery, but the fire damage in area is kind of okay too. As you can see, you don't really need too much area once you get your Uber Lab, and the only problem I have with this build is that before Uber Lab, your AoE kind of sucks. Like, it's kind of bad. Like, but the exchanges, you get recovery, you get pseudo fortify effect, and you get reduced cost of skills, which even helps with the life cost. I'll run through like a very like easy map. It's a tier 7. It's below what we should be doing right now. I'll run quickly through it just so you can get an idea of like, this is a 5-link with life tap. This is how it looks after the Uber Lab is done. As you can see, this version of the build, the no damage version that I'm playing, has a little bit more life, and probably about 10 to 25. I'd say it's a pretty big range because I'm not actually sure. It's like 10 to 20, maybe even 25% less damage than the real skill tree you should have, which is just basically not going Scion. I'm not even, I'm just going to rush to the boss here. As you can see, the build is very tanky. It's pretty much invincible. I can maybe stand here and just let things hit me, or try to hit me. Oh, my trap went off. Oh, sorry. Group up a bunch of mobs. The chaos damage might be scary. As you can see, without any damage mods on the map, we really don't think very much at all in a tier 7. Pretty sure without damage mods on most other maps, you're probably fine too. And this build also, I want to talk a little bit about the shield slot for this build, because this is likely going to be our starter, and I see a lot of talk and use of Con means stratagem, which is a unique shield that we're not using. I did drop one, but I'm not going to use it for this run. As you can see, damage, very good, very smooth. No problems in this gear with no damage nodes on the tree. And life tapping. So yeah, only changes you would make is you would main like the combustion now, just to get rid of flamethrower trap. So let's talk about the shield slot a little bit. You have 3 options for your shield. You can go a defensive shield like I have, so lots of life, preferably spell suppression. I have the chance to avoid being frozen because I have ailment immunity basically on this build. You have immunity to ignite, immunity to shock, and then I didn't want to go Brine King, so I got immunity to stun on the tree, and I'm getting, you know, immunity to freeze. So we're not, you know, getting ailmented ever, except for it's not completely capped. I think I'm relying on this flask to cap it, but it lasts 7 seconds, so it's pretty good. I think our chill, it's not at 100% though. It's not at 100%. It's at 83, so we can still get screwed a little bit. So maybe get a belt or helmets with a void freeze. That's probably the way to go, is to get a belt. It's just to roll a Stygian Vice with a void freeze. But so your other 2 options are, one, a calming stratagem. Calmings I think is fine. I don't really think it's like a middle ground. Like, I think it's going to be worse than a full offensive shield, which is your third option, is to get a titanium spirit shield with just like increased fire damage on it and +1 fire gems. I think you're going to get more damage out of that than you are at con mains. You're also going to get more defense out of a pure defensive shield. You're going to get more defenses like evasion or armor evasion. You can use a cardinal shield here too, and not a pure evasion shield if you want. This shield's honest, kind of unique because it has such a stupid amount of life and has 11% chance to block. So we actually have like a 36% chance to block on this. So it, that's just basically how it works. You have some options for your shield slot. I would probably recommend going defensive or offensive, depending on how you want, and just don't worry about a con mains. And then you'll get shields aren't that hard to roll, and you'll probably get a decent decent enough one that you'll feel bad putting on the con mains pretty early. Because this is I only played, let's see, I was AFK for a little bit. Okay, so almost 20 hours of playtime on this character. I've had this gear for at least 4 or 5 of those hours. I haven't really made that much adjustment here. So this is pretty like day 2-ish, day 3-ish SSF gear that I just got from Harvest. The amulet's a little crazy because it's like probably one of the best pre-Ashes amulets you can get, but eventually you go Ashes, right? So Ashes, you'll get more damage out of it and more use out of it. The helmet's pretty bad. It just has, crafted life and spell suppression. This doesn't even have spell suppression, it's just life, res, and, I slapped the Gravicious mod on it. This has suppression. This is just move speed and res. I mean, yeah, the belt's pretty normal too. This ring's pretty normal. This ring I just wanted a fire damage roll. So yeah, that's the fire trap. I'll talk about the other build that I'm considering real quick. And a little bit about why I like Deadeye more than Champion. So basically the plan for this build that I'm probably not going to end up doing is this is a Deadeye Helix. So it's Deadeye Spectral Helix. I haven't done overlap on this character. But you grab ailment immunity pretty easily. You have a ton of damage. You're abusing Nightblade. And that's about it. You basically just get a decent claw and you kill everything. I don't really know if I need to demonstrate Helix. But the game plan is to get an Omniscience. And it's very Omniscience reliant. Get an Omniscience, get some gear together, and swap to, Lightning Strike or Molten Strike. And I think Deadeye's better for that because we are playing SSFSC. This is an SSFC oriented video. I think Deadeye's going to get you more mileage out of Champ. You can go Champ. If you go Champ, the transition is a little bit more currency intensive and gear intensive, right? Because you're switching from pure Fizz to a pure elemental build, and you're switching from a two-hander usually to a claw and a shield. So here you pretty much already have, like, the claw and shield probably don't change that much once you get an Omniscience. It's just like your reins and maybe your helmet. I mean, even this helmet is like, it's got 50 strength on it. Hey, you have some things that are changing a little bit once you go Omniscience. I mean, maybe even Ascendancy you might change, but I think with Deadeye, I mean, you're just going chain and endless munitions, whether you're Lightning Strike or, I mean, maybe with Lightning Strike you go Far Shot, endless munitions, but with Molten Strike you'd probably go the chain. I don't even know if chain works, but Far Shot kind of fucks you, so you'd go endless munitions. Just get the chain, whether it works or not, and then get endless munitions. And then you have Tailwind and Focal Point. Focal Point works really nice with Assassin's Mark. I'd venture it works pretty good with Sniper's Mark. The nice thing about playing Deadeye 2 is that you can use Mark on hit if you want. For mapping, you get power charges quite a bit if you're using Assassin's Mark, and Sniper's Mark is just a nice amount of damage. Yeah, I would definitely recommend this if you want to play something that's not traps. Uh, it does what it needs to do. I did test both Champion Helix and Deadeye Helix. Deadeye Helix, of course, it has that smoother transition. It just has your elemental the whole way, right? So that is that. Those are my two starters. I did a little tease of maybe some bonus POBs, and I guess what I was thinking of that I don't have a test character here yet is just loading up an Inquis Spark or an Arc Elementalist or something like that. Inquis Spark is probably a little bit better. There's been some talk about Creeping Frost, so just throwing that idea out there. I don't really have anything for it, but one thing I am interested in that I saw a disgusting POV for is Champion Spark. Now I'm wondering if how SSFable it is. It doesn't seem that SSFable to me, but do your own research on Champion Spark because I don't know. I was messing around with SSF gear and I was able to get it up to almost 200k per spark projectile on a 6 link, which isn't that good, which is not that good. Uh, but plenty of other people have Inquis Spark guides that are like 700k per spark, projectile, even with like a pierce gem. So, anyways, thanks for watching. I will have some sort of video about my league start. I don't know exactly. I'm gonna be playing Fire Trap most likely, 90% sure. If I'm not playing Fire Trap, I will be playing Deadeye Helix. The only Let me conclude by saying the reason I choose Fire Trap over Deadeye Helix is that I'm a little bit worried about the amulet drop rate situation. I don't know if it's actually increased with quant modifiers like they said, or if they actually reduced it, or if they moved it to only the uber bosses. People have been saying all sorts of shit about these amulets, and we're not going to know till the leak comes out. So I'm just saying my expectation is probably, if they did lower drop rates, it's probably from like 25% to 20% or 15%, which if I knew that, I would probably go Deadeye Helix because 15% you can still just farm it pretty easily. But if they moved it to like 10% or 5%, that is so stupid and not good. And the Fire Trapper is a lot less reliant on Ashes. I mean, Ashes is still really good, but you don't really need it to like do that. I also don't like playing Helix that much, which is another reason why, the Deadeye transition is smoother. You can do it a lot quicker. You can do it a lot easier, uh, with less investment than the Champion transition from Helix to Omniscience. And the whole reason is, well, I would rather play Lightning Strike or Molten Strike than Helix. I would rather play Fire Trap than Helix. I'm not a big Helix fan, but I would be willing to suffer through it if the drop rates were at least 15% on those amulets, or more. If they were kept that way. But that's basically my final reasoning. Friday we'll have some fun. I will maybe see you on my stream at twitch.tv at /problematic boy, same as the YouTube channel. And thanks for watching. Bye.